Medicine and Rehabilitation module. This is my disclosure. Pictures included in this lecture are not the property of myself and were obtained from Google Images search and referenced on the slide. The material is being used for education purpose only, and M. Khan does not claim ownership and rights to this material and will not be printed or copied in the handouts. This is the introduction. So in previous lectures we have talked about community-based rehabilitation, and my other colleagues are talking about the rehabilitation in detail in various topics. We will cover the neurological disorders that are a significant cause of disability, and Parkinson's disease is one of them, and we will discuss Parkinson's in this lecture. These are the objectives. By the end of this lecture, students will be able to discuss Parkinson's disease, describe the pathophysiology of Parkinson's disease, and explain the rehabilitation process. That's the main part of the lecture. So what is Parkinson's disease? So it's a chronic progressive disease of the nervous system, and it's common in 50 to 60 years of age, and men and women are equally affected. If you think about the pathology, it's a basal ganglia disorder and accumulation of a protein into Lewy bodies, and its lack of inhibition of excitatory motor activity. So what does it mean? That if there is any problem in basal ganglia, there is another part of the basal ganglia which is called substantia nigra, which releases the dopamine, and that dopamine is responsible for inhibiting the excitatory motor activity. So if the dopamine have any problem, or there is loss of dopamine, then there will be overactivity in the muscles that will cause rigidity and stiffness in the joints and rigidity in the muscles, and that will cause tightness around the whole body. Cardinal signs. Since there is no reliable clinical test for Parkinson's disease, and the diagnosis is made solely on these cardinal signs. The first one is bradykinesia, which is slowness of the movement. Then we get resting tremor, then rigidity in the joints and muscles, and we have postural instability. So the patient will be posturally unstable, they will have a tendency to fall, and they will be having difficulty in walking and turning around. Etiology is usually idiopathic, that is the most common. So mostly there is no cause for it. Second, it could be secondary to virus, toxins, drugs, and metabolic causes, but that type is rare. Parkinson's disease patients could be actually put in two main groups. In group 1 patient, they will have rigidity, that is tight muscles and contractures in the joints, so there will be very stiff joints all over around the body. There will be bradykinesia, so which will be slowness of the movement, postural and gait problems. So these three signs will be more apparent. And also in group 2 patients, they will have resting tremor. So a lot of research will say that resting tremor is a sign for a differential diagnosis for Parkinson's disease, because rigidity, bradykinesia, and postural gait problems could happen in other neuro disorders, but resting tremor is a special sign for the diagnosis of Parkinson's disease. So what about the main impairments? If we think about the impairments and functional limitations in Parkinson's, so there will be gait disturbances, which will mean that patient will be unable to walk, and they will have a tendency to fall. They will be having difficulty to initiate the movement. So if you ask them to lift their arm or lift their leg, They will be having problem to initiate the movement. There will be dyskinesia and dystonia uh, in the joints and muscles. There will be orthostatic hypotension, and it means that if the patient is sitting up from a lying position or standing up from a sitting position, they will have a tendency to drop their blood pressure, which is called orthostatic hypotension. They may have swallowing dysfunction, constipation, bladder problems, cognitions, and they will have pain as well. So they will have a lot of pain due to increased rigidity and tone in their muscles. Rehabilitation process again, in the rehabilitation process, it will be interdisciplinary team approach, medical and nursing. So the medical team could prescribe them some medication, and they will need a nursing care. Physical therapist can work on their joint mobility, joint contracture, and improve their mobility and give them some strengthening exercises. Occupational therapist can work with them functionally.